You are naturally magnetic for your soul connections. This is divinely intended. It is predestined. These soul connections, such as soulmates, twin flames, those ideal romantic partners and relationships that fulfill us not only physically and emotionally, but on a soul level as well. These soul connections are based upon soul contracts. Within these soul contracts, we set the terms of these relationships prior to incarnating in this lifetime. We intend to meet one another under certain circumstances and at certain times. We intend to share these beautiful romantic relationships with these other spiritual beings. However, oftentimes, these soul contracts are based upon stipulations, certain terms. There is a certain amount of healing that must be done internally before certain soul connections are able or willing on a higher level to come into our lives. Now, part of this is, again, very divinely intended. We create these terms because we understand on some higher level, on a soul level, that if we were to attract one another when we weren't yet healed, our relationship couldn't flourish to its full potential. So we are divinely kept apart from these people, from these romantic soul connections, until we are essentially healed to the extent that we are able to handle, but not only handle these relationships, but truly thrive within them, truly deeply connect with these people. Because the truth is that if your soul connection, whether it's a soulmate or a twin flame, whichever label you identify with, came into your life and loved you as they would because they can't do otherwise, loved you in your unhealed state, you may not even recognize them. You may not even recognize this love or feel it as love. This is because we experience love based on what is going on in our energy field, particularly within the subconscious mind. If we are blocking love through limiting beliefs or negative thought patterns stored within the subconscious, not only will we continue to attract partners that we don't truly desire or relationships that we don't truly feel fulfilled within, not only will we continue to hold apart from ourselves these soul connections, these so-called soulmates or even twin flames, but also, even if we encounter these people, because we are blocking true, authentic, soul-centered love and connection, we may even repel that love away from ourselves, even if they give it to us. This is so often why, if you do identify as a twin flame, why twin flames, this most ancient and most profound and intense form of romantic soul connection, why so often within these connections, there is a very powerful, intense pushing and pulling energy. There is one or both counterpart who chooses to run, to try to escape the connection. This is often because within our forms of highest romantic soul connections, if we are blocking authentic love, if we are incapable of fully loving ourselves, seeing ourselves as worthy of love, we will actually consciously and subconsciously repel this love away from us. So in this video, I am going to be sharing with you my thoughts on letting go of love-blocking beliefs in order to attract your dream partner. Now, I'm leaving this open-ended because I want this video to be applicable regardless of what kind of romantic label you would put on this particular ideal relationship. Whatever you imagine as your ideal, whether this is simply in your mind, my ideal person, or whether you would label this person as a soulmate, an ideal partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, or perhaps, as many of you do on my channel, you are someone who resonates with the label twin flame. You understand yourself to be a twin flame, and you long to connect with your twin flame either for the first time or to deepen your bond or to reunite with them in the physical world. This video is going to be very useful to you regardless of which romantic label you resonate with and what your particular desires are. And the reason is because love in all its forms, even in its platonic forms and familial, if I can say that word, forms, the bonds within families even, we will repel and attract all forms of love based on our beliefs, specifically our unconscious beliefs. This is why so many teachers emphasize the importance of shadow work, because when we use the term shadow work, we are talking about addressing the parts of ourselves that are within the shadows of our consciousness, outside the light of our consciousness, or in other words, those parts of ourselves that are housed within the subconscious mind. The thing about these limiting beliefs is that very often they begin in childhood, and it begins because we witness certain patterns playing out, usually between our parents, and in the ways in which our parents model love toward us. Human beings are natural modelers. We like to model and mirror energy. This is especially true when we are younger. This is actually how, as children, we learn to do many very important things. It's how we learn to speak, how we learn to walk. We learn all of these core traits and abilities based on modeling, based on watching other people around us. But this works to our detriment when it comes to the less concrete, the more abstract concepts and tools and coping mechanisms that we learn from others from a very young age. Just like you probably don't remember learning to speak or learning to walk, you probably also don't remember learning to love, but you learned to love in the same way you learned to speak or walk, by modeling what your parents, caregivers, key figures in your life were doing toward one another and toward you. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 core limiting beliefs that block love. Now, when I say block love, I don't want you to misunderstand what I'm saying. I mean that love could be coming toward you, and in fact is coming toward you on a higher level, on an energetic level. You are already connecting with these soulmates, with these, for those of you who are twin flames, you are already connecting with your twin flame, with your ideal partner. Because we meet others many times before we meet physically. We meet first energetically through the mind, through the soul, and often even in previous lifetimes. These soul connections we are always connecting with, have always been connecting with from birth. But you are preventing these soul connections from manifesting in your 3D, the physical world. So you are connecting with them energetically, but even then, you may be unable to feel their love even on an energetic 5D higher level, and you absolutely will not be effectively connecting with them in the material 3D world as long as you strongly have and continue to feed these limiting beliefs within your subconscious mind. Now, the thing I want you to understand before we get into these beliefs is that you may not even be aware that you have these beliefs. So don't be so quick to, when I state one of these beliefs, simply write it off and say, oh no, I don't have that belief. Because you must understand that once a belief becomes stored within the subconscious mind, you can be completely unaware of it, and yet it can continue to play out on a loop and affect every area of your life, especially your love life, over and over again, without you realizing you even have this belief to begin with. This is also why I am so passionate about subliminal affirmations tracks, because subliminals are designed to address these beliefs not in the conscious mind, that very shallow level of the brain, but in the subconscious mind. Many of you know that in addition to creating these podcasts, I am a subliminals creator. But for those of you who aren't aware, I do want to share more about my subliminals because I do believe that this is a very powerful, life-transforming tool, a meditation tool that is not only very effective, but also very simple to begin using. In fact, I, in my own life, began studying the law of attraction and did study it for years. I applied many different law of attraction practices, but I really didn't see results or forward movement in really any area of my life until I started incorporating subliminals. And this is simply because, like I said earlier, I had subconscious limiting beliefs, and because they were subconscious, I was completely unaware of them. But I started using subliminals to bridge these beliefs, to transform them. And then every area of my life began to transform very quickly. So what you're looking at now is a screen recording. This is showing you my subliminal site, Sound and Soulful, where I have created a library of over 100 subliminals for all areas of life. So as you can see, I have subliminals for physical appearance and body changes, subliminals designed to assist you in manifesting very specific material things, such as money, a dream job, your ideal house, your soul tribe. But specifically in connection with this video, I have several subliminals targeted to love and relationships. So if you're listening with a specific person in mind, I have created subliminals designed to assist you in attracting a specific person. For those of you who feel, or who after listening to this video feel as though you have some of these limiting beliefs, the subliminal I would recommend most highly for you is my heart chakra activation subliminal. The heart chakra is where we store, within the energy field, most of our limiting beliefs related to love and relationships, because it is the subconscious house of our emotions, how we process and manage our emotions. So by listening to this heart chakra subliminal, you can clear away any deeply seated love blockages stored within the heart chakra and open up your energy field, your heart center, so that you are capable of attracting the love relationships you truly desire and deserve to experience. you can access this heart chakra subliminal, as well as any of the more than 100 subliminals in my library, completely free for 7 days when you create a trial account on my website. The link to this heart chakra subliminal is in the pinned comment under this video, as well as in the description box. Now let's dive right back into talking about the 3 most common love-blocking beliefs you may be experiencing even without realizing it. And I would go so far as to say, if you aren't happy in your love life, if you're either feeling discontent with a specific person within a relationship, or if you are currently not in a relationship and feeling lonely, feeling as though you are attracting the same kinds of negative characteristics or patterns in different people, or if you want to attract a deeper level soul connection, a soulmate relationship, or a twin flame, but you feel as though you keep consistently attracting shallow, unfulfilling romantic relationships, I can guarantee you have at least one, if not all 3 of these limiting beliefs, at least to some extent. Because another thing to remember is that these beliefs exist on a spectrum. So you could have one belief that is very, very prominent within your energy, very deeply seated, and another belief that exists at a more shallow level within your subconscious mind that manifests less intensely, less frequently, but is still there all the same. The first most common love-blocking belief is, I am not enough. I want you to sit with that statement, and really with any of these beliefs, if you feel this sort of punch in your gut, this feeling energetically within you that causes discomfort in one or more of the chakras, such as in this case in the gut, in the solar plexus chakra, or in the heart center, if you feel like your heart is just breaking open, or you get the urge to cry when I say one of these beliefs, that is a sign that you are storing this limiting belief somewhere within your energy field. If you have the belief, I am not enough, most likely this is the model of love that you were taught. As you were raised, your parents rejected certain aspects of you as unlovable. This could have been something you said, something you did, some key part of your personality that you were told was bad or unlovable in some way. Whenever you expressed this trait, this part of yourself, your parents withdrew emotion from you. They withdrew love or attention from you. So you slowly stopped expressing this trait, this very key core aspect to yourself, until finally you stopped expressing it altogether. And at that point, you began actively rejecting it. And soon you began acting toward yourself, toward those so-called shadow aspects of yourself, in the same way that your parents once reacted to you, before you saw these aspects as bad or unlovable. Now, over time, you no longer have to actively reject these parts of yourself. They become absorbed into what we refer to as the shadow self. And again, the shadow self is anything outside the light of your consciousness. So at this point, these key aspects of you still exist, are still part of your true, authentic soul self, but they have been rejected to the point where they have become unconscious. These are parts of yourself where, if you came face to face with them, if someone told you, you are like this, or you enjoy this, or you do this, you may even intensely, strongly react against the thought of being that way, even though this is a key part of yourself, Because again, you have just rejected these parts of yourself so intensely and so long that they are now part of your shadow self. You aren't even aware of them. Now, how does this play into blocking love? When it comes to our soul connections, what you have to understand is your soul connections, be it a platonic so-called soul tribe, anyone in your soul family, and especially your romantic soulmates or a twin flame. All of these connections are attracted to you in your most authentic state. This might sound obvious to you, like, of course, soul connections will be authentic, but I don't mean it on a surface level way. I mean, these people, these connections are attracted to you as you understand yourself, you within the light of your consciousness, you as you would describe yourself to yourself and others, as well as you in your shadow aspects, your shadow self, because the authentic self is two parts. It is the conscious self, how we understand ourselves and how we actively present ourselves to others, combined with the shadow self. If you've never acknowledged your shadow self, if you never even realized these shadow aspects to yourself exist, you can't attract true soul connections or a twin flame, a soulmate or a twin flame, because these people are magnetically attracted to your authentic self, and you, being in a space of rejecting that half of yourself, those shadow aspects, will also either reject them or energetically repel them. So either they will be so energetically repelled away from you or held apart from you that they can't ever come into your physical 3D life. Or when you do attract these people into your life, because you are rejecting key aspects of yourself, you will reject them as well. Again, this is so often why twin flames will actually sometimes reject each other. But the same is true to an extent within romantic soulmate connections. Think of these connections like a very powerful magnet, but only when you are in your authentic state. If you aren't in your authentic state, if you aren't fully accepting your own worthiness of love, that you are enough, that you are worthy of being loved and seen in all of your aspects, including those shadow aspects, then this becomes like magnets that are turned around. And just like when you turn magnets to the wrong side, they will reject each other just as strongly as they could potentially attract one another. So the key here is to clear away this belief, or rather a limiting belief about your own worthiness, in order to get that magnet turned around the right way, to authentically express yourself, to understand your shadow aspects and integrate those aspects into the light of your consciousness so that you are radiating an authentic energy, expressing your authentic self as you have been expressing yourself, plus those key traits, those rejected shadow aspects you may have abandoned within yourself. The second core love-blocking belief is, I am always a victim. Again, if you felt that in your gut or your heart, that means that you are storing this belief in your energy. You have this belief to some extent. This belief could manifest in other forms, such as, I am always being left. I am always left standing in the relationship. I just saw an image of someone listening to this video who feels as though you are left. I saw you on a rainy night on a front porch step with, metaphorically, your heart in your hands, holding out your whole heart to this person and having the door shut in your face. I am always left out in the dark, in the rain, metaphorically, when it comes to love and relationships. If you feel this way, it is because there is a negative pattern. This specific belief is the indication of a pattern. To discover if you have this belief, ask yourself, do I say, when I talk about my past relationships, do I use the sentence, he always, or they always blink, or I always attract men or women who blink? That word always is the key phrase, because whenever we say I always do something, or I always attract something, or something always happens to me this way, that word always indicates that there is a pattern that is very deeply integrated within our subconscious mind. That is all that it means. There is no such thing as good fortune or bad fortune. If you see yourself as always having bad luck in love, I can free you from this belief, because it's not luck at all. It is a pattern within your subconscious mind, and I don't want anyone to feel offended or defensive or attacked by this belief, because I have had this belief in the past myself, and in fact, many of us do have this belief. My friends used to always tease me prior to attracting my twin flame relationship that it became a running joke that I would have all of these first dates but never make it to the second date. This is because I had a core limiting belief that I was very good at first impressions, very good at putting on a face, at making people connect with me artificially on a surface level, but that I was impossible to truly get to know and get close to. And in fact, this itself was kind of a two-part limiting belief, because I also believed that if anyone truly understood me at every level of my being, they wouldn't love me. They would abandon me. Now, I just shared that with you, that kind of deeply personal anecdote, because I feel that someone listening to this actually has had an experience with that very same belief, or is experiencing that. And again, that for me was a pattern of victimhood. That was believing that people, men specifically, always treat me this way, or it always happens this way. And that word always should have revealed to me, or does now in retrospect, reveal to me that I had a subconscious negative pattern about my own worthiness of love, about how I would be treated within relationships. And because I believed I would be treated that way, I continued to be treated that way over and over again, no matter what type of man I was dating. Now, the third core limiting belief that blocks love is I can't keep it, or I can't maintain it. I am not capable of having and cultivating a deep, meaningful, romantic relationship with someone and making it last. If you see yourself as kind of a ticking time bomb within relationships, like it can work for a while, but once the so-called honeymoon phase is over, that person will leave, they will lose interest in you, or you won't be capable of making them happy. Now, I said making them happy because oftentimes this belief actually comes from a belief that you have to work hard in all areas of your life. So if you have this belief, it's very likely you also believe when it comes to money and finances and career, that you have to work yourself to burnout for everything that you have, that you are a sum of your achievements in life, not just in relationships. But when it comes to relationships, you have this belief that it is your job to make this other person happy, to prove that you are worthy of love through your actions. And you know that eventually you aren't going to be able to keep up with that hard work. You are going to burn yourself out. You are incapable of relaxing into the feeling that you, in your authentic, relaxed state. I just got the image of someone just in sweatpants with their hair down, if you're a girl, or I guess a guy with long hair, Someone needed to hear that you are lovable in your fully relaxed, authentically you space. You don't have to put on a face for a true soul connection. And when you begin to accept that truth, that is when you open the door for those true soul connections to come into your life, be it a romantic soulmate or even your twin flame. I hope that through this video, you had some point in listening in which you felt yourself shaken awake. Maybe you felt a little bit of that awakening from soul amnesia, that feeling as though one or more of these beliefs resonated with you and has been holding you back, preventing you from attracting the love you truly desire and deserve. And I really emphasize that deserve, because I'm going to close this video by saying, just because I feel someone needs this little pep talk, they need to hear this. You deserve to be loved, not because of some external appearance, not because of how much money you can earn, how successful you are, how you look on the surface. All of those things are ego-based. You deserve to be loved on a soul level, ground zero, just who you are at the very core of your soul, without any of those external appearances. And ironically, the moment you begin to accept that fact, accept your own worthiness of unconditional, truly unconditional love, not based on any of these external conditions or circumstances or appearances, the moment you start accepting that, you will begin to magnetize yourself, to magnetize your energy field for a soulmate or for a twin flame who is trying to get into your life on a higher level. I see this person knocking on your door, trying to come in, but you keep saying to yourself within your own subconscious mind, no, I'm not worthy. No, I don't want you to see me this way. No, I'm not ready to meet you until I'm more successful, until I look better, until my appearance changes in this way, until my life is more put together. You don't need any of those external things. You are deserving right now, wherever you are, for those authentic soul connections. And the moment you accept that fact, you are opening the door for this soulmate or this twin flame who is trying to make their way into your life right now. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If I resonated with you, that soul resonance is a sign that you are part of this soul tribe we are creating here on YouTube, that you found this video for a reason. Here, through this channel, we are co-creating new information together to uplift and support one another along our spiritual journey through life. So if that resonates with you, please subscribe to this channel, join our community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself, all put together. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you again in the next podcast.